morning, friends. Hope you're having a blessed Friday. I was going to show you some beautiful pictures of spring flowers, and it started to rain. So I don't want to stand out in the rain. So sorry, you'll have to have maybe like, I have some little fake ones in the in the corner there. So anyway, what I wanted to share is Fridays I share, what have I learned this week? And I learned something that was quite unique that I had actually not heard before. So this is really exciting. So pollen. Sometimes pollen can really bother us, and it bothers some people more than it does others. Why is that? That's the question. That's why I'm always asking why this, why that. So it's okay to, well, I'm aware that if we claim it a disease on ourselves, then we can actually manifest it, okay? So it's really important not to say I have and label yourself. You can say I'm dealing with, or I'm working on certain symptoms, but there's a lot about that, labeling it and claiming it and stuff like that. So be aware of that. So anyway, I don't have pollen issues. I've never said I have, and I really don't. And but my husband has had some, and so I've learned more about how pollen works and those kind of symptoms and things like that. So what I want to say is that you can have an issue with pollens because of many different reasons. So one could be a family history, could be the area that you live in. And then that family history or a family trauma or a trauma that you've had during that time when there was pollen can also impact you. So that's something else. Bug bites during pollen season can bother you. Or just any other time. Mold in the environment can impact you. And so you're actually, you're dealing with the pollen, but it's actually a mold that's underneath that's making you more sensitive. It could also be chemicals. So you think about pollens come in the summer, maybe or spring, when they're also putting down, fertilizers and pesticides and things like that. So it may be a combination kind of field. So there's lots of different ways on why we may react to pollen or get a drippy nose and things like that. So I want you to be aware of that. It's kind of a bigger field than just pollen. All right, I have little notes here. Okay, so what I learned is and then this is just an example, but I have this product which is MSM, okay? And it is a form of sulfur that helps your body handle different things it comes in contact. And what I found that it does is it helps the mucosal lining get a better or stronger immune system to deal with things. What's the mucosal lining? That's anything in your nose, anything in your mouth. It's basically the internal skin of your body. So when you take MSM, you are able to make that more resilient towards what you come in contact with. And you think about all the things we breathe in or eat and things like that can be irritants to our body. And so that helps protect it and not be so sensitive to it. So that is what I learned. Now, it's important to use the kind of MSM that is a powder form, or to use it as like a capsule. But if you have like what they call veggie tabs, where they're like pushed together and it's like a hard thing, that makes it inert. So it's not really a good product for you. So just to let you know. All right. So what I found by muscle testing is that my husband needs to have MSM January, February, April, and March. I need to have it February, March, and April, and my son needs to take it March and April. And so that's the kind of fun things that, we don't have to take it all year round because we don't have pollens or maybe we need it sometimes for something else. But for this particular thing in dealing with pollen, that may be an issue. One thing to be aware of is if you move from one location to another, you are going to have a different pollen reaction. So for an example, we were in pine forest where we used to live, and so ponderosa pine was not really an issue for me, but it was for my husband. He grew up in San Diego, and so when we moved to Louisiana, those areas are kind of the same, and so there were certain pollens that he reacted to that I hadn't seen him react to before because that same not climate, I guess. Climate was about the same. So I found that interesting. So I have really learned a lot about pollens and how to help people over the last few years on that. So it's been kind of fun. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. So I'm Jody Colgrove, and I am a health and healing coach, and I use muscle testing and energy medicine and a modality called quantum techniques to help people get their health and happiness back. So if you're not doing well with the pollens or things in your environment, maybe it's mold, you can call me and we can find out, hey, what's going on? Why is your body reacting and clear that, and then what do you need to not have in your body so that your body won't react. So it's kind of a combination. So it's not we're spending any more time just feeling yucky and gross and stuff like that, and having all the drainage and not feeling well. There is a way that you can get through that and solve the issue. I've just touched on a little bit of the top of the iceberg here. There's something called, and I always mess up the name, microtumorism, which is a very interesting subject, and I have lots of information on that one. So there are more ways to help you get your health and happiness back. So one thing you can do is you can join my Facebook group, Health Puzzle Academy, and I share a lot more information about health and happiness there, and we have deeper discussions. And then once a month, I also do a Zoom meeting about deeper health issues. And so that would be something to join too. So if you're interested or you have a question about what we've talked about today, leave your information below and I can send you a link to the Zoom meeting. And then I can also answer whatever question you have. So hope you have a blessed rest of the day. And I hope that information I learned this week will help you have a better life. Blessings.